Hey, my name is Dennis Delamar, and I'm the founder of the Greenwood Film Festival, located in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the home of Black Wall Street. Welcome to the virtual ceremony. Man, I tell you, it was a dream. It was really a dream. It was, this idea had been there for a couple years, but to see it take place and to see, not to just take place, but to see the powerful panels and information come forth with all the like minds that this festival has curated, it was an experience. It was an experience to remember. It was, and especially this year with the 100-year centennial. I mean, it was right on time with where Tulsa is going, where Black cinema is going. It was hitting on all those points, all those things that needed to come out, came out, and I was, more than pleased to not just put it on, but to also experience the event. And so let's dive into the actual nitty-gritty of the event. So let's talk about the panels. Man, the panels were on fire, let me tell you. Here's a quick clip from some of the panels.
It's all about security and knowing your value. One way to have security is to do contracts from the beginning, even with your friends, but always think about success. Because when you're starting off, you might say, hey, let's start a production company together. And I just say that to you, and you say, yeah, we're gonna start a production company, we're gonna make a film. Then we start making this film. And then while we're making this film, somebody come and offer us $100,000 or $500,000. Now we're talking about how you split the pie. Now we're talking about how much does this person get? How much does this person get? Because there's money involved. But if we would have sat down and said, hey, this is a $1 million company, we're gonna start a $1 million company, how is it gonna break up the percentages right now? So if $5 come in, we know what you're gonna get, what you're gonna get. If $1 million come in, we know what you're gonna get. And that leaves it all the arguments. You don't gotta worry about it. So if $1 billion come in, you already know what you're gonna get. And I know what I'm gonna get, and you know what you get. So structuring from the beginning, but giving yourself room to grow. And in some of the studies that I'm reaching, it said there are 60 billion pieces of content being released a day. How are you gonna weed through the noise and get to your people, your audience, your people who think like you, who are in Wyoming, in Detroit, in New York, in California, that you've never met? There's ways to reach that particular audience, and you have to put in the work, and it's gonna take time, it's gonna take a little bit of money as well.
Is to say, what is your intention? The same way when I first moved out there in 2007, I was going to different spaces where I wanted to be around other Black creators. And this one girl, she said, hey, it's this girl, she's taping like her web series. You might want to go and see if they need help. Mind you, I'm broke. I'm like, I ain't doing that. But some inside said, man, you better go. You better go and just help. It was Issa Rae, the awkward Black girl. And for me, that relationship, even today, is like, I was able to see her and build with her at a time when I said from the jump, I just want to see you build.
I had to have a business mindset because that was the way that was going to help me push past all the glitz and glamour. When I went there the first time, yes, you go to Rodeo Drive, you go to Beverly Hills, you're like, oh my God. But then, when you go to places like South Central, Watts, and everything like that, you get the real nitty-gritty of what LA is, and you get snapped back into reality. I feel like in order for it to continue to grow, especially in our community, we've got to learn to work better together. When we network, we gotta mean the network, and we have to work together.
We can't wait for folk to give us anything. We have got to get up, go, knock on the door, and take advantage of opportunities. The state of Oklahoma is putting millions of dollars in its film industry. And for those of you who are involved, Oklahoma City, Muskogee, Tulsa, wherever, you need to read, and then you need to act.
We then we rebuild, because I think that's a big thing that we miss in the massacres, the rebuilding of Black Wall Street, and hosting the NAACP national meeting here in 1925, just years after we were burned to the ground. That resiliency. And then come the 60s and urban renewal, what we call Negro removal. And then they put a beautiful 244 interstate to make sure you never get back what you lost. That makes me cliquish, okay? So if you're a city slicker from Los Angeles, coming to my Tulsa, all we have had is us, like Mr. Harris said.
I am not in the business of trying to take over an industry that's been around for 100 years. The Warner Brothers, Paramount, I let them have that. There's still something over here that could build, and they can operate their model how they operate it, but I know that we, as a community, can operate ours better than that.
And the people who have really been doing the work are still challenged with doing that work. So it's almost like when President Obama was elected president, and people said, well, racism's over. We don't want that to happen here in Tulsa, to say, hey, you got 3 documentaries, there's your reparations. You know, a lot of times we have the view of it's only the beginning, because now everybody's been exposed and knows the truth. So where do we work towards? So yes, Tulsa has come a ways, but we have a far way to go. But let's get everybody at the table, and no one now can please ignorance.
So the panels, man, I really enjoyed the panels. You know, oftentimes when we have these summits or we have these symposiums, a lot of information comes out, but sometimes there's not really an action plan to those things that come out. And so one of the things we want to do at GFF is to not just have conversations, but to produce results and produce fruit from those conversations. And so there were some things that came out in those conversations that are in work right now, and you'll hopefully be able to hear about them soon. So we're really excited about these panels, and we're just hoping that more and more people will get involved, because these panels and the things that came out, I'm trying to explain it, but I can't explain it to the fullness of the effect of what came out. But these are things that we need to know about, whether you're a content creator, whether you are an up-and-coming director, whether you're a seasoned director. We're talking about challenges and things that we need to overcome as so-called Black people in this industry. You know what I'm saying? In this industry, and the things that are against us, how the industry is shifting, and how we need to, you know, move accordingly. We really want to get the community, we want to get you involved. Yes, you. We want to get you involved prayerfully in the next panel, because if you're watching this, what we're talking about will affect you. And so I thank you to all the panelists, from Dr. Shaw to Negro Spiritual to Stephanie to Edwin to Greg. Man, it was amazing. And so we're looking to up the ante next year. And one of the things that I'm excited about when it comes to the classes that the Greenwood Film Festival brings is we talk about our own processes. What does that mean? That means that if we have a director, that means we have a producer, that means we have a cinematographer, they're gonna tell you what they do. So if you like them from that film, they're gonna break it down and tell you, you know, this is what I did. Because oftentimes, you know, whether you're watching YouTube or sometimes when you go to these places, they'll tell you like a formula of what the books say or something that they read. But we want to talk about what do you actually do? Yeah, you producer, you director, what do you actually do? What do you go through? Because we're all different, and so some of our processes are not going to be the same, but we're going to be able to take from each other and see what parts can we use to strengthen our arsenal. And one of the comments that I heard in the writing class, which really blessed my soul, was a lady walked up and said that she's been to a lot of Hollywood classes, and what was laid out was, you know, better than that, because it went more into depth of the psychology of different things. And so that really blessed us to know that we're on the right path in sharing these classes. We are excited to bring more classes. Let us know, drop a comment on what you want to see as you're a filmmaker. What do you want to see? What do you want to learn? What processes or what parts of the process do you want to strengthen your arsenal on. So let's hear from you. All right, so now we're talking about the Industry Expo. And the Industry Expo, man, it was amazing because, you know, you have a vision for something and then you see it come together and you're like, man, that's what, you know, that's what you were seeing. And so the Industry Expo was a small, intimate gathering of people. And once again, Markia Jones was able to come from Atlanta, and she has, you know, just a great resume, and she shared with us her production coordination, you know, bullet points. And it just took us to another level. It was so good, man. We were like, man, we should have blocked out more time for this, you know. And that's what really a lot of the festival felt like this. Like we should have had more time for these different things. But it was good that we had no time. But it was like, man, we could have had more time. What came out of it was great because, you know, say you're a producer and you want to know, I need to know how to produce these type of projects, or I need to be able to cast these type of projects, but I don't have access to, you know, these type of resources. So somebody in the room in the Industry Expo has access to those resources, and we want to make it more than just swapping business cards. We want to actually build relationships with industry people and get those tools and also talk about what we're struggling with when it comes to the industry, because a lot of times we don't have those forums and those places where we can say, you know what, I'm having trouble organizing on set. You know what I'm saying? We're always running over time. Hey, somebody say, you know what, have you heard of this app? This app right here will keep you on time. Oh, for real? I never heard of that. You know what I'm saying? And you're going there and you're getting what you need to go to the next level. And so that's what we want to bring in. So look out for the Industry Expo. Prayfully you can come to that next year. And so now we're on to the nitty gritty, which is the films. And of course, I have to talk about Black Wall Street, American Nightmare. Man, this was a film that we shot in North Tulsa in 2020. Q&A brought up a lot of things that were important issues in the community, and so we were just grateful to just talk about those things and really get the gist of the project. And so thank you for everybody that came out to the Q&A. Black Wall Street, American Nightmare filled up 3 screens, even in the midst of COVID restrictions and things like that. So that was exciting, and everybody, you know, just enjoyed the project. Thank you to the crew, thank you to the cast, thank you to everybody that just helped with that film, to make that film a reality. Blessings to you, and we're excited about where, you know, that project is continually going, and even bigger projects with that concept are going. So we're excited. And so let's talk about some other films. You know, you have Catharsis, you have Your American Girl, you had Restoration, a concert film, Mickey Hardaway, you had French Club, so many other different films, The Skin You're In, Run Little Boy, man. It was just amazing, just the conglomerate of different talents, just to see how talented the Black community is when it comes to films. And these were our pioneers this year. So with our pioneers this year, we want to get into the first ever GFF Awards. That's right, GFF Awards, where we talk about, you know, the best screenplays, the sound, everything. And so we get into that. So let's go. Our first award is the Outstanding Performance. And this award goes to Genia Lear Morgan from Catharsis. The performance, let me tell you, that film really gripped people. So Genia, man, keep it going, keep acting, keep elevating your talent, keep sharpening your skills. Thank you. So next, we're talking about the best score. So the best score goes to, hands down, Restoration, a concert film with Ben Starr and Native Son. Man, I'm telling you, this soundtrack was amazing. And in the theater, it was epic. It was epic, you know, and it just really kept you involved. The songs, my favorite song is Black Owned. And here's a little bit from Black Owned.
Stains on my clothes, 4 gold chains on, I don't work for you. I got pollution in my food, revolution in my blues, executions on the news, I got work to do. I got a bag full of soul and I own that. A swag in my stroll, I can't hold back. This ain't Moses in the desert, this the chosen under pressure. This lends to my oppression, I don't work for you. Paint chiseled in my teeth, I put a lead on each. Forefronts when I stun, I call it freedom of speech. I'm bigger than black, I'm opaque. Mosaics that I make stems from our roots and it's sparking the liberation of the dark-colored artist. Hebrew architect, the first man. Ferguson, St. Louis arcs all connect the puzzle pieces. When the codes crack, the struggle ceases. This is country soul, city folks ain't gotta sleep in. This is anti-colonialism passion. I'm over the system, trapping the homies.
So Ben Starr and Native Son, keep creating music. We hope to see more films or documentaries and different things from your group, and just keep it going. Next is Best Picture. Best Picture goes to Issues of the Heart. Let me tell you, Issues of the Heart was a great film, and the pictures were amazing. The lighting, I really liked the lighting, the shadows, and it really added to the film, and it really added to the atmosphere of the film. So here's a couple scenes from Issues of the Heart. The best screenplay goes to Catharsis. So Catharsis picks up another award in this category. Man, I don't want to give away the story, but the screenplay was very well put together, and a lot of times it's very hard to get a twist on there, but this film did it. So a lot of times when you're in the theater, you can get the chance to listen to people's reaction and how they're moving. And I tell you, in this film, people were quiet. You know, sometimes people were talking and moving around, doing things. It was a pin drop. You know, you could hear a pin drop in there. And it was amazing because we know what we've been through when it comes to police brutality. And that's one of the things of this film, why we love this film so much, is because it gave you a different perspective. And let's talk about the award of the year. The award of the year, which is our Pioneer of the Year award, goes to Run Little Boy. Run Little Boy was a great story. This story, though it was an animation and though it was a short film, it just spoke so much to the experience of the so-called black person in America. It spoke to those things that we have to go through, and this film was very powerful. It was very poignant for this time in history. We'd like to thank everyone who made this festival possible. Here are some of our sponsors. And so this festival, the first festival, it was a great experience, man. I can't say enough. I haven't really, for me, myself, and for my wife, we haven't been a part of something like this. And so it was just, you know, especially in the COVID age, people are ready to get out and see movies. People are ready to just connect again. And so it was an electric experience. And so we're praying that this would just be the first of many, and we come back even stronger, bigger, and just continue to grow, and just also put those films out in the world that link to our mission. And our mission is to grab things from the past, lessons from the past, to create solidarity for the future, the things we can do and the things that we need to, change up. And that's what was so powerful about this year's films, is that it had qualities of Greenwood, had qualities of Black Wall Street, the perseverance of, different things. And so we're excited about that. And all those films help to shape the narrative and to change the narrative about who we are and what we think about ourselves. Because the Most High has created a beautiful people. He's created us to be a praise of His esteem. And so we are excited to see the transition, see the renaissance of film now as the Most High begins to change the narrative of His people as it regards to who we are. And so I'm excited just about the future, and I thank you for tuning in, and we're out of here.